And I think it's interesting that slogan is very popular all over the world now, and is attributed to me online because I gave a speech out there and, threw that in, at the Bilderberg Group in that famous speech. So it's the answer in 1984, 1776, and the guys were able to ferret out by watching the film his name. I just forget it because I only met him a few times, had dinner with him a few times. He and I and Jim Tucker, who's also dead. I was just pointing out that little idea he had, continues on all these years later after he's dead. And that's how we're all like little rocks in a pond, but those ripples basically go on forever, to use that cliche. A lot of cliches are cliches because they're true, but we use them a lot because they're so true. Like, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Best of times, worst of times. Truth is stranger than fiction. Oh, it sure is, man. I just sit back and think about my life. It is so crazy. Like, hanging out last week with Chuck Norris's son, who's a big accomplished TV and movie director in his own right, Mike Norris, who's learned to ride a motorcycle from Steve McQueen. That's who got Chuck Norris into acting. And I can't get into the movie yet before it comes out, but I want to show TV viewers a few photos that they sent us. Here is Gary Haven and one of the actors. You guys go to a document cam shot. That's a photo shot off one of the big cameras. There I am with Mike Norris, really great guy. He's going to come down and be in studio soon. He lives up by Dallas. And there I am at the courthouse where they shot this senator scene where I play the evil senator. So that movie is supposedly going to come out in the fall or winter. I'm not allowed to talk about it yet. But it's anti-New World Order, to say the least. And I've had Chuck Norris on the show 5, 6 times over the years. He told me he was a listener and liked the show, but then talking to his son and, don't know how much a listener Chuck is. We're going to get him back on. It's just really weird to know that almost everybody I end up running into from Hollywood is a listener. And I don't mean a listener once a week or something. I mean listening a lot. I want to say hi to Mike Norris, who says he listens every night. And Gary Haven, the billionaire founder of Curves, is a big listener. Can't wait to get him in studio. And the stuff he was telling me about behind the scenes, talking to senators and governors and people, all the amazing things that he's been learning. And I've got separate sources. I was there talking to the sheriff and other people just in that county where they were shooting this. People are so awake. I was only up there one day last week. Was it Monday I took off? David Knight did a great job to go do that. I didn't take off. I left at 6 a.m. and got back at 12:30 at night. That way I could see my kids in the morning. But took off the radio to go do that. And it's just every experience I have. It was like 2006, we had a 9/11 Truth Conference in L.A. 2,000 people showed up. International media showed up. C-SPAN showed up. And I got invited out by one retired LAPD detective that was running security. Then I met a bunch of other LAPD detectives that were current LAPD. And then the next time I went out there, I went out to dinner with a bunch of these guys. And, they all were as well-spoken or smarter than I was and knew about everything. They could do a radio show tomorrow as good as this one. And that's what I'm saying. These people are just everywhere who know what's going on. It's like we've won, folks, is what I'm saying. We've won the hearts and minds. Not that we even won it. People know bull is going on. And that's why they want to divide the vaccinated against the unvaccinated. That's why black against white or citizen against cop. And it doesn't mean there aren't bad things happening on all sides. It just means it's being pushed and fanned and expanded because the globalists need that or they're going to lose. And I know that's very simple, what I'm saying, but that's what we've got to really think about every day, myself included. They want us at each other's throats. For a reason. Because if we ever get together, in fact, we should come into the next segment with the Bugs Life clip. If those ants stand up, then they might all stand up. Those puny ants outnumber us 100 to 1. Well, the globalists know we're going to stand up, so they want us to stand up against the local constabulary and crush it so the feds can come in. No. We're going to crush the New World Order like Beowulf crushed Grendel by just grabbing the arm, leveraging it around a column, and ripping it out. We're just going to grab and hold on. That's who wins. Whoever perseveres. And just have the will to just keep telling the truth, never stop. They're never going to tell you we're winning. They're just going to tell you we're losing, no one's listening, oh my gosh, everyone wants to be vaccinated, everyone wants world government, everyone wants the state to take over kids, everyone wants blah, 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 everybody wants Obamacare, everybody wants to turn their guns in, everybody. No, they don't. And we have to just discredit the establishment media, discredit the people that have hijacked our governments, state, local, federal, but then support those in the system that are doing the right thing. Because if we ever give aid and financial support and word-of-mouth support to people in there that are fighting for freedom, who are scared, who are getting threatened, who are trying to go as far as they can, like Rand Paul, and then he's not perfect, people get mad at him. Well, you try being in the arena. Let me tell you, you try actually being out there on the street. You try actually living this stuff, and then you see how hard it is to continue because there's so few people at the top that'll speak out. And I think that's what I'm getting at before I go back to calls here. So a lot of times I'll just start speaking stream of consciousness, and I'm thinking, what am I getting at? Under the surface, almost everybody's awake that matters. And by that, if you're a movie director, you got to be pretty competent, know how the world works. If you're a TV producer or a major actor, you got to be pretty competent. If you're a cop who's been on the beat a while, you got to be somewhat competent about the real world. Combat vet, same thing. A doctor, a lawyer, anybody that's got to be competent. A school teacher, you live in the real world. I don't care who you are. If you're working in the real world as an accountant or whatever, you're going to have smarts about how the world really works in your area. That's why they want everybody just playing video games, staying in college till they're 30, never getting out in the real world, because that's just a nation of people, and it's about a third of the country's like this now, that doesn't, I don't just mean poor people on welfare. I mean these trust fund kids everywhere who just have no idea what's going on in the world, and they'll point at us and laugh all day long. The system wants, though, units like family and like communities to fight with each other, because if we're busy doing that, they can then rob and rule over us. I mean, again, it's that simple. So as negative as this show is, there's a lot of positive stuff. I go to the regular grocery store now sometimes when I'm in a hurry and can't go to an organic place that's pure organic, or claims they are. Because Lord knows Whole Foods or Central Market aren't fully. And, I mean, the cereal aisles, no GMO, no high fructose corn syrup, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that shows, we've got plastic that doesn't have bisphenol A. A couple years ago, they'd have a small section that wasn't bisphenol A. Now, you go in Target, Walmart, Randall's, I don't care what it is. It's just nothing but bisphenol free. And that's because people stood up and said, we don't want to turn our boys into girls and our women into breast cancer victims. I mean, I see the changes everywhere. We start saying we don't want smart meters that spy on us, and we keep educating folks, and we don't want smart appliances that everybody can hack and take over. I would talk about that 10 years ago, and people acted like I had 3 heads. Now, the federal government's warning of it, and it's the big hot item. Notice for months we've been getting into vaccines because I said the big push, try to force vaccines is coming. I could see the buildup. Now we're here. Notice everybody else is trying to get on the wave. We were already on the wave before it started. Months ago, notice we're always right over the target with what the big new issue is going to be, because we've got to engage the enemy at point-blank range. We've got to know where they're going to strike next to be waiting on them. I mean, just quite frankly, it's unbelievable how accurate InfoWars is. It's unbelievable how groundbreaking it is. It's unbelievable. But it's a testament to 20 years of focus. You learn how stuff works over 20 years. And this whole world's been designed around distracting and diverting people to keep them compartmentalized, to get good people to go join corrupt systems and to go along with it, believing they're doing a good job, because the system knows most people are actually good in the system, and so they just need a fake narrative to make them feel like it's okay. But now, through decompartmentalization, not just this broadcast, but across the board, there is a rapid learning curve as people get what's really going on and then just go, whoa. The great danger is in going along with this, because this is a human civilization-ending road we're on by the globalist. Who are they to decide the age of humans is over? Who are they to decide the, quote, evolution of humans and machines? Who are they to decide what we put in our bodies? Who are they to decide what we read or what we do? Or, I mean, we are not programmable pieces of garbage. We're talking about free will here. Monsanto stock's in trouble. I mean, every globalist operation is under fire. And let me tell you, they are going to strike back. We should be discussing, from the enemy's perspective, getting into their mindset, wargaming what they're going to pull. We know what they're going to pull: civil unrest, kill the cops, all this other garbage. And I'm telling you, we got to stop it. And even if we don't stop the next wave, we'll be that much more credible when the next thing happens.